Boom, boom, there's a knock at the door, but don't freeze in your tracks. It's that chance that you've been waiting for. It's the light coming through the cracks. When life shows an open door, come on, step through. A chance like the purest gold. Come on, come on. When life shows an open road, you know you should ride it. Forget what you've been told and ride this open road. This open road. This open road. Boom, boom, that knock on your door is sounding further away. Don't lose sight, life was times before. This is now today. When life shows an open door, come on, step through. A chance like the purest gold. Come on, come on. When life is an open road, you know you should ride it. Forget what you've been told and ride
Hello, everybody. How's it going? It's back to Monday Night Ramble, folks. How's it going? I hope everybody's having a good night. Oh man, it's hot in here, though. I'll tell you that much. When I do my Monday night show, I kind of have more stuff going on, so it heats up in this room a lot quicker. Let me know if you can hear me. I'm assuming you can hear me and that you can see me. Let's hope. Not that that's crucially important or anything, but anyway, we're back to Mondays. Let me put this baby away here, and I'll come back and we'll switch the angle. We'll go through some stuff. We'll say hi to some folks in the chat, and yeah, we'll get going. All right. So let me do that right now. I won't need these headphones right now. I'll only put these headphones when I play. So hold on. Give me 1 second. I'll be right there, folks. That's what happens when you have too much stuff on the go. You gotta move around. You gotta shut stuff off. You gotta turn on stuff. It's just insane. All right, hold up. Put this guy here. That was the R9, by the way. I'm sure you all know. Okay, let me switch the camera angle. There we go. All right. I'll get settled in for a little bit. See what's happening. And let me just switch my monitor here real quick so that we know what we're looking at. All right. So, yeah, just got back from vacation last week. So we're off for a few weeks here. Let me adjust this camera a bit more here so you can see a little bit more of the room. Awesome, awesome. So, who do we have in the chat tonight? We got Phil Mosley in the room. He was the first guy in here. How's it going, Phil? Didn't get a chance to get your backing track today, which I wanted to do, but I will do that. I promise I will try to get one of those jamming tracks. I never get the chance to do those when guys put them out, and you know, they always put so much effort into them. I want to have a crack at them. So, let's see. Let me just go quickly down this chat here. Everything's good. Everything's good there. Perfect. Gary Tholander's in the house. Bam Ozzy's in the house. How's it going? Back to 7 o'clock. Yes. Black Country Blues. How's it going? Joe Hervey. How are you? I didn't play any metal for you. I played a blues track for you. So, but I try to make it, rock a little bit. So I know Joe Hervey is always bugging me to play metal. So that's why I bring that up. And who else? Janice. How's it going, Janice? Oh, you like that? Yeah, that song in the beginning was just a track that I had laying around, so figured I'd put that in there. I'm gonna put up more of my original stuff in my live stream setting once they're all ready to go. I've got about 12 of them done, but I'm looking at releasing so far that I like. Well, I like them all, but there's 4 of them that I'm really focused in on, and then I want to write another maybe 6 of them or something like that and try to get an album out by the end of the year, which was a goal of mine when we started this year. So I'm halfway there, I suppose. So I'll keep working at it. But thanks, Janice. Thanks for jumping in. I know some of you guys jump in when you can, and you got so many videos to watch. It's impossible to see everything. A lot of live streams going on in the community, so it's always that's a great thing, right? Charles Green, how are you? Alex Radford's in here. The Dog Pa. Yeah, you finally got. Oh, you got a notification tonight. That's good. That means YouTube must be working. Sometimes it doesn't work. I hear a lot of people saying that they don't always get the notifications, but hopefully that's okay. And let me see, Alex. Well, oh, Zach Thong's in here. How's it going, Zach? Sorry if I miss anybody here. I'm just going to try to make my way down the chat. We've got a lot of stuff to cover tonight, so we've got a packed show. We've got a packed house, which is awesome. I'm really happy to see all you guys in here. Every week we seem to be growing the audience all the time. I'm getting more subs every week coming in through the show. Even through the last couple of weeks when I wasn't doing a lot of stuff because I was on vacation, I got some more subs. You'll notice also that, hold on, that my branding is starting to come together a little bit more. I've changed my Instagram to Six String Brian, so you can go, and if you don't follow me on Instagram, that's how you'll find me, by going to _Brian. And my Facebook, I've made a page specifically for it. My other page in Facebook is more my personal page, and I put all kinds of stuff on there, but I figured I'd have a more targeted page for my music and guitar stuff and my YouTube show. So that's up there on the screen as well. There's a Six Brian. So I'm trying to kind of formalize everything into the same branding and the same names, so it makes things a little easier, and I can separate the music stuff from the other stuff that I tend to get into, like the photography and just my personal stuff, right? So anyway, we'll discuss that a little bit more as we get going here. Butterfly and Ladybug Show, how are you? I believe that's Sandra that's in here. Thanks for jumping in. I guess you guys didn't do a show today, because I usually listen to your show on Mondays and Wednesdays and Fridays in the morning. They do a show starting at 10 a.m. usually, but this morning I didn't see that you guys were live or anything, so I guess you didn't do one today, but I'm sure you'll be doing one later this week. Let's see, Denny Allen, how are you? Let's see, make sure that everybody is in here. I'm sure that the Butterfly and Ladybug Show will be posting some links to my stuff as well. So if you are so inclined to go check that stuff up, that's where I'll be posting a lot of things moving forward under that same name. Okay, getting down here. Scott Connor, how are you? Nice to see you tonight. Guitar Hack, how are you? Saw Guitar Hack on his Facebook page earlier today. He was doing the cigar hangout type of thing. Always fun to jump in and harass him a little bit before I get going. Dave R., how are you, brother? Hope you're doing well in Arizona, and the dogs are doing okay too. The little guys, I hope the little guy's got the cone off his head. Poor guy. It's just doing a little, okay, cool. Awesome. All right. Brad Miller, how are you, Brad? Daniel Horsley's in here. Wow, we've got a ton of people. Chicken Guitars, how's it going? I think I saw Black Country Blues earlier. Jazzco Plumbing. Jeez, it's never ending, folks. Come on. Okay, I'm going to go down to the bottom here. So you got to get going anyway. All right, cool. If I missed anybody, I am sorry. Just tag me in here if you've got any specific questions. And thank you, Brad Miller. I guess you saw some of the photography stuff that I do, and you seem to enjoy it. Awesome. Cool. All right. Yeah, and as far as my personal website, what I'll be doing is, as you see, I don't have it listed here because right now my personal website is more around my photography stuff. So I'm going to direct Six String Brian. I believe I've got the domain name already registered. I'll direct that to another part of my website that I'll be developing in the next couple of months that'll be just geared towards the music stuff. So once I get all that done and ready, I'll let you guys know what that is. And that's probably where I'll be posting songs, videos as well when I release an album and so forth. So it'll be kind of a one-stop shop for everything, but right now it's mostly my photography stuff that's there, and that's at briancote.com if you want to see that stuff. James Severin, Steve Keys, man, we got tons of people. All right, cool. All right, so let's have a look at some news. What happened this week, or I guess last week now, since we're Monday, so I'm really talking about last week. And let me see if I can figure this out now. Good Lord, there's so many buttons to play around with. So that's that. That's that. Cool. All right. So let me bring up, last week we lost somebody that I was always a big fan of, and that's Mr. Peter Fonda. Let's go to that. Let's see here, right there. Most of you will recognize this man for some movies that he's done so many things in the movie world, but he was really known for me anyway, was the movie Easy Rider that came out, I'm going to say it was in the 69, 70, I believe. I can't remember exactly. Let me have a look here. But anyway, yeah, he passed away. He was 79 years old. Great actor. I really liked a lot of his stuff that he did. Just seeing if there's any. If I look at his Wikipedia page down here, you can see that he's been in so many movies. Like, look at the list. Starting in 1963, he was doing stuff in the movies. Easy Rider came out in 69. That's the year I was born. So that was really cool. My dad was really into him as well. My dad was a big motorcycle guy. That's where I got my passion for motorcycles as well. Was with that and that movie when it came out. Obviously, I was born that year, but my dad would watch it here and there, and I would sit with him as a kid, and I remember that very well. So that's kind of an important actor in my life that was really cool. But he did movies right down to 2019. It says here he was actually working on a movie called The Last Full Measure when he died, I guess. So I don't even know if that movie's out or if it's going to be coming out. But yeah, he was working right down to the end, right at 2019. But he's got so many movies. Wild Hogs, that was a great movie. I don't know if you guys remember that one. It was a comedy, but it was really cool. I enjoyed that one. But yeah, he's got tons of stuff here. So yeah, 79. We lost him, but apparently he was a real nice dude too. Here's the bike. I don't know if I can bring that up. This bike it's an iconic motorcycle. Let's put it that way. I've seen it in person a few times at some motorcycle shows and stuff. They had it on display, and it was a panhead motor, Harley Davidson, and yeah, it's really cool to see that part of history. The other big thing that happened exactly, I guess, 50 years ago, which would have been on the 15th of August, which was last Thursday, was the 15th, I believe, was Woodstock. Yeah, Woodstock, man. What an interesting event that was. I watched some of the documentaries. I think, well, I don't know if you guys saw most of the movie that came out about it. But I saw some documentaries on it last week, and some of this stuff that happened there was pretty cool. To have that many people there and not have any like crazy violence or any of that stuff. And the PA apparently that they were using was only set up, like, I can't remember how many watts. It was like 40,000 or something like that, really low, and for the crowd that it could handle. Apparently it was set up to handle a crowd of about 15 to 20,000 as far as the PA and the equipment that they could run to push sound to that crowd. And they had over 400,000 people attend that festival. So it was absolutely insane that they pulled that off. But anyway, there's a lot of stuff on this Wikipedia page if you want to go and look at that. There's some interesting stats regarding that. And one of the cool things is that Jimi Hendrix actually played as he was the last performer, and he was supposed to perform on Sunday night, but everything was pushed back so late, and everything, everybody was late, and they couldn't get to the venue. They had to use helicopters to get these people in and out. But Jimi Hendrix actually went on Monday morning. There was a lot of people that were gone and stuff, but he had an iconic version of the national anthem for the United States. And I mean, I watched the replay of that, and it was absolutely insane how good that was. But yeah, it was quite the event for sure. That was 50 years ago. I was actually born on the 13th of August, 1969, so a few days before Woodstock. I keep telling people I was born at Woodstock. But no, I wasn't. Yeah, okay. So let me go back. That's all I got for news this week. Let me go to the chat and see if anybody's got... Gary Tholander says Captain America for our friend Peter Fonda. Let me go back to this camera here. Cool. I'm not wearing my in-ears tonight. It's kind of weird because I'm not hearing my mic, so I keep looking to make sure the meters are moving. I don't know. I've got to get a different sizing for my in-ears because it's aggravating to wear for an hour at a time. So I'm just why if I'm playing guitar or something, I use my big headphones for now. But I'll get a different set of in-ears or I'll get them sized differently. But yeah, it's kind of weird not having them in here because I can't hear myself, and I can hear myself, but not through headphones. It's kind of weird. All right, let's see. What else do we have in here? I remember seeing the news reports of Woodstock disaster as a kid. Really, Dogpaw? Yeah. A lot of people thought, as it was happening, because they ran out of food and they had to bring in a lot of food from outside, like from the community, and everybody chipped in and they got through it. But when you think of what they were faced with and everything that was happening, it was like, wow, it's a miracle that they got through what they did. And one of the cool parts of that is the farmer that gave them the use of the land. He came up on stage, I believe it was on the Sunday morning or whatever, and introduced himself and said, he gave a little speech to the crowd. It was pretty touching how he's like, this guy was a farmer that was graciously gave his land, or lent his land to all these people to do this for no cost or whatever. And the place was completely gone, and after everybody left, they showed the scene of it. It was like a war had happened there. It was insane. But if you get a chance to watch some of the documentaries that are out, the movie's out there, you can watch that, which is really good. It covers a lot of the stuff that happened there. But some of the documentaries that came out after that, like they played some, I think CNN had one this week, CBC had one this week. And so if you go back and look online, even on YouTube, there's a lot of footage and some stuff on it, which is really cool. All right, so we've got audio level is good. All right, so guitar hack. Let's see the new guitar. So I did mention, or I did tease in my thumbnail, that there might be a new guitar in the fold here tonight, or something new anyway. I didn't really say it was a new guitar, but it could be. It could be. Anyway, let's talk about that in a second. Dogpa. Don't freak me out. He's saying we cannot hear anything. You're talking to yourself, really. LOL. Cool. All right. Soda, what's going on, brother? Custom fit in-ears are the bomb. Yeah. Poo Ninja. Yeah, how are you, Poo? Yeah, I know. I got to get the molds done or whatever, so that it's a lot more comfortable, because these ones that I have, they work well and they're good to wear for a few minutes, a few songs or whatever. But after that, you get ear fatigue and it hurts a little bit. So that's why tonight I'm not going to wear them. But they're good to have when you're doing these types of shows and stuff, because you can hear all your audio. If you're playing guitar, you can set that level separate from the other levels. So it's really good to have. But Max, yeah, Gary Tholander says Max Yasgur was the property owner. Yes, he was the farmer. Interesting fellow. I really liked his vibe. But and apparently when they did Woodstock, we're going to get off this topic in a second, but when they actually had another location that they had built up, and it was like, I can't remember what the name of the town was. You guys probably know in there, but it was all set up to take place in a different place south of where it actually happened. And they had the stage built and they had a bunch of other things. And then the community put an ordinance or something, and then they had to cancel it. They couldn't hold it at that place. And the last minute, I think they had worked for like 3 months building up the area, getting everything ready. And then they had like 2 or 3 weeks to get this new place in Woodstock where it was actually held. They only had like, I would think 3 or 4 weeks to get it done. What they had done, like that took them 3 to 4 months, they had to do it all in like 3 weeks or something crazy to make it happen. They weren't sure if it was going to happen. And this year they were going to have the big anniversary concert, and they couldn't get it done. A lot of stuff fell through, and all the acts started to cancel, and they just canceled the whole thing, which is sad. It would have been a nice event to have at the 50th anniversary type thing, but it happens. Let's see. Brad Miller says custom in-ear monitors are worth the money. Get at least dual drivers. Yeah, okay, yeah, that's good to know, because I never know if getting the dual drivers, or they've got so many types now that trying to find the right one, because they're not cheap. So I'll keep that in mind. At least get dual drivers when I'm getting them. I'll probably be looking at that stuff in a couple of weeks. Go to a few places and see what's out there. Quentin James in the house. What's going on, Quentin? I hope you're back in your apartment. I think you are. I saw something there that you showed that you had a new router and you were getting speeds that made me jealous, because I don't have those speeds and you do. But I hope you're back, and I hope you're doing well, brother. I know you went through some shit the last couple of weeks here, but you seem to be getting back, and it was great to see the community come together and pull through and support you a little bit and help you get through this, because we're all susceptible to all this stuff that happens in life, and it's nice to see that there is a community that we've built here that if needed will lend a hand and won't let you stranded, so I thought that was really special. So thanks everybody for doing that for Quentin. That's I think really shows what this community is about. We always hear a lot of negative stuff with the internet and how people act towards each other and trolls and all these other things, but when you have a good solid community, we know who we are as far as people, and the people that kind of hang with us and go take part in all the chats and the shows and everything, and we've gotten to know each other. So I think it's great that we have the community that we have, and we were able to all chip in and give Quentin a hand, because it could be any one of us that needs a hand. So all right, let's see, Brian. Okay, that's good. Guitar Hack says, I'm guessing an R6 is that pretentious. And well, me, Mr. Pretentious, apparently, so I got to live up to my name, but I won't say anything yet of what's coming. So, so last week was my 50th birthday, and I'd been looking at all kinds of things and guitars and so forth. What happened last week, though, you'll notice that some guitars are gone. I had put my Les Paul Traditional up for sale, and it had been up for over a month, and I wasn't really getting a lot of hits on it, as far as a lot of people wanted to trade other things for it, but I wasn't looking to trade because I wanted to just sell it, because I needed to move some stuff in order to get something else. And last week I got an offer on it that I was happy with, so I met the guy in Mississauga, not far from where I live here, and he bought it. And then I had my SG up for sale as well. And within 2 days after that, I got an offer for that, and the guy bought it full price, full asking price. So it's weird. You can have your guitars up for sale or things up for sale, and they can be sitting there for a month or more, and you get very little attention on it, or you get people wanting to trade things, and all of a sudden in 1 week or a couple of days, it just hits, and everybody, everything works well, and they bought them. So yeah. So let me switch the camera. We'll look at, Soda says, happy birthday. Thank you. We'll look at what happened. So I got rid of the SG. I got rid of the Traditional. And the only thing I've got left now on my list of things I'm selling is my Universal Audio aux box. So that's still listed. So I might relist that on a couple other sites just to get that moved out of the way. And then I'll be set with all the stuff that I was trying to sell and that I needed to sell in order to get to where I am today with the stuff that I have. So here we go. Yes, show and tell time, folks. Let me switch my camera back to the back one here, because I'm going to show you it from that angle, if I can do this without causing a big ruckus. Hold on, let me move my mic. All right. Okay, so let me bring up my iPad so I can see the chat from here. Cool. All right. You can still hear me. You can still see me. So I'm wearing a Gibson shirt, Maybe that's a giveaway. And is it something to do with Gibson? Well, it could be. We want guitar. We want guitar. All right. Show and tell. Yes. Okay. So here's a little giveaway. Not really, but well, as far as the Gibson thing, it is a Gibson of sorts. Now, is it an SG? Is it a Les Paul? Is it a 335? Is it what else could it be? Right? It'd be one of those three if for me anyway, because that's the stuff that I like. But anyway, so the reason I wanted to show you the case was because, let me just open it. Make sure you guys can see everything here. This is kind of weird to do it on this side because I don't have a lot of room. But the reason I want to show you this case is because it's not like your cases that you're going to see when you buy a Les Paul today. It's, you know, it's got this, in the old days when you got a Les Paul or you got a Gibson guitar or something, they came in these cases that had a different, like a pinkish color interior, and they had this kind of like cover on it, where they don't do that anymore. I guess it's something they stopped doing in the 90s maybe. I don't know. I haven't seen one in a long time. But anyway, so that's why I wanted to show you this case. So you know the guitar is not new. So it's not going to be something that I went to the store and I picked up a new guitar or anything like that. This is something that has some age to it. Let's put it that way. So yeah, so this is your traditional Les Paul case back in the day, right? And got the stuff that it came with. This was the actual certificate back then. I don't know if you guys can see that. So you used to get, now we get certificates that are all like these booklets that are black, like almost hardcover books or whatever, and they've got some information about the guitar and so forth. But back in the day, you got, man, this mic is a problem when you're trying to show something. You got these types of things where they would give you some information on the guitar. They give you some stuff about the serial number and what it is. So anyway, I found that cool. It came with the original case candy, let's put it that way. So now I guess you guys want to know, well, what the hell is the guitar, right? Now that I've shown you the case and I've said it's not new, let me have a look here. Slam's keyboard. It's got a blankie. Yes, it's got a blankie. Dave R, any guess, Dave? Dave R should know what generation of guitar this is. Keeps the axe warm. Got to run. Bad time. No problem. Hey, R2, what's going on? R2's in here. R2. Good. All right, so let me go grab it. So here's the back of it. All right, here we go. There it is. This is a 1996, so it's 23-year-old guitar, R6. It's a 1956 reissue. Custom shop guitar from 1996. It's got two P90s, and yeah, it's a gold top with a nice. The neck is. Everybody said, you know, the R6 is an R8 and stuff. Well, I know the R8 has a little bit thicker neck than my R9, but this one is very similar to my R9 actually. So when I tried it, I really liked it. It's a little thicker maybe, but not a whole lot. But yeah, so I've been looking at R6s specifically because the next guitar that I really wanted was something with P90s, and a gold top was always high on my list as far as those Les Pauls, because I have three Les Pauls that the trinity, I would call it, of Les Pauls for me are the R9 in the color that I have it in, and a gold top with P90s, which is this one. And the third one is a Les Paul custom, either a black or a white with gold hardware. I would probably prefer the black, but I really like the white one as well. So those are the three Les Pauls, or when I think of Les Pauls, and for me as growing up and when I always looked at Les Pauls, those were the three models that were like the standout things for me. what I was always drawn to, or what I really appreciated. So when I got the chance to see this one, I actually found this on a local Kijiji. It just came on the market about a week ago when I first spotted it, because I keep looking every week, and I did look at some new stuff. It was just so expensive. Trying to find an R6 that was, within my price range was really hard. And so what happened was, this guy, collector out of London, Ontario. So on Thursday, I got in my truck. I had talked to him on the week, on my birthday, actually. I talked to him and I said that I was interested. I gave him an offer, and I said I would actually drive down to London, right where he lives, and meet up with him. And that's what I'd be willing to pay if the guitar was in good condition and I was happy with it, and so forth. But London for me is over 3 hours from my house. So it's a full day to go and do this. So on Thursday morning, got in my truck nice and early, around 9 a.m., took off and got to London, Ontario around noonish or whatever. Met with the guy, had a long conversation with him because he's a collector, and he had a lot of information on this guitar and some other guitars that he was selling. He's got a couple R9s that he's trying to sell as well. So he had a lot of information. So we talked a little bit, and I really liked the guitar. I tried it, and the thing is like pretty much, I mean, it does have a few, I don't know if you can see it here, but it's got some marks here. It was played. It's obviously a 96, right? So a few little marks, but no real scratches or anything. It's just a few little marks here when you play a buckle or something like that, maybe. And the top, there's like no dents, no scratches, no nothing. This thing is like mint as far as that goes. Opened up the covers, make sure all the wiring was correct, everything was good, not a problem. It's set up pretty much to my liking as far as the action and everything. It's all original. Everything is original. The frets are all original. They're really in good condition and everything. So I was quite happy with it, and decided to pull the trigger. And it was a good thing that I was able to sell my traditional last week and my SG. My SG was sold after I bought this one, so I was still like, I need to sell that SG really because I need to fund this thing, right? So everything kind of aligned and worked out, just like my R9. When I got a chance to buy that, I was looking for a while, and everything, the stars aligned basically, and I was able to get that with doing some trading and at the right place at the right time. This is exactly what happened with this one, so I'm really happy with that. So let me the frets are awesome, Soda. There's a little wear, but nothing major at all. The fretboard is like immaculate. I mean, this thing, I was talking to Dave, it looks almost Brazilian rosewood, but I'm not sure if it is, and the guy didn't know either, but it looks really nice, really rich. So let me plug this thing in. We need to see some close-ups. I don't know how close I can get here. Hold on. There is a little nick right on the headstock there. Oh, how can I? Man, this is hard. Right? A little bit, nothing much. So it's pretty. See, you can probably see it right there where the G string tuner is. There's a little nick there. But other than that, thing is pretty much flawless as far as the finish. So the light hits it here. All right. And P90s, they sound amazing. I'll tell you that right now. I really like the P90 sounds. Let's see. How much misuse and abuse before you can claim relic status? Yeah, it's not relic. I mean, there's a few marks, but this is a 96, man. This is a 23-year-old guitar. So, they say vintage is a 30-year-old guitar. So at some point, this is going to be vintage category, right? So for an R6. And the other cool thing about the R6 in that year, I found out, so the serial number in the back here has a 6, and then the 6 after it is the 1996 year, and then 280. They only made 300 of these ever in 1996. The R9, they doubled. The R9s in 1996, they made 500, and they made 300 of these. So I've got number 280. 280 is the one that I have. So let me just plug this in. Let's see. Hold on. I have to put my headphones on now. And obviously we get a little bit more noise from the P90s because they are a little noisier than a regular humbucker, which is fine. It doesn't bother me that much. Let me take my Univibe off. Just do this. VOS could be Brazilian too, but much less likely. Okay, good to know, Dave R. All right, so let's hear it in a mix. If I can do that. Hold on, test. All right, cool. Trying to do 50 things at once here. That's always a challenge. Let's look at which song. I did this one on Friday, but we can do it again just to have a test. I'll turn off the mic and we'll do this quick jam. It's about a 3-minute song, and I'll just jam around with it, and maybe I'll change the pickups around and all that fun stuff. All right. So hang in there. We'll come back and we'll finish up the show.
A 1, 2, you know what to do. What does you tell all around town? They're telling everybody gonna put me down. Well, look at what you did. You can call it what you want, but I'll call it that's what you did. There is no child, and I don't play. I say what I mean what I say. Oh,
you go. There's an R6 for you. Not that I can play it any great spectacle there, but gives you an idea. So let me put this guy away, and let me switch the camera. We'll go over a few other things, and that's it. So hold on. Let me put that away. Switch this off. Take this off. These little wireless things are pretty cool. They work very well. And one less wire hanging around, getting all mixed up in my chair and my headphones is always good. So, hold on. Cool. All right. Back to this side. Let me switch the camera. See what's going on. Soda. I think Joe Bonamassa wants to buy it. Yeah, I know, right? Maybe someday. I don't know. I think Joe Bonamassa has like 400 guitars, so I don't think he's looking for a 1996 R6. All right, let's see what we got. So if you've got any questions or anything that you want to go over, just tag me in the chat here. Todd Flowers, how are you? I'm just seeing if I missed anybody because I've been jamming and doing some other stuff. Wasn't really paying attention to the chat. I think Brian needs a Jackson guitar hack. Says, I don't have anything against Jacksons. It's just not my deal. I don't know. Not that I don't like them or they don't play well. It's just, for me, there's really 3 guitars that I really tend to vibe with, and that's the Les Pauls are my first, Telecasters are my second, and a Strat is a third type of thing that inspires me anyway, that I like to play and I feel comfortable with. So, but I've tried all kinds of guitars. I've tried the Jacksons and Charvels and EVH and all kinds of stuff, and they all play really nice. It's just, for me, when I walk in a room and you put a Jackson and Les Paul, Charvel, EVH, a Telecaster, like the first thing that I'm going to draw to is going to be that Les Paul. That's what I'm going to be inspired to play. And that's the key, I think. It doesn't matter what it is that you get or want to play. It's that thing that inspires you. So when I walk in a room and I see either my R6 or my R9, whatever, that does something to me, like emotionally. So it makes me want to play it. I play it a lot, and that's the key. So it doesn't matter whatever that is that you get. It's that connection you have with the instrument that I think is the most important. So, hey, Tone King's in the house. How are you? Nice to see you. Sweet setup. Yeah, I'm working on it. But yeah, it's nice to see you. It was awesome to chat with you at Summer NAMM. I had a good conversation with the Tone King, and a very nice guy, and it was really cool to see him there. And let's see what else we've got going on here. First time tuning into the live show. Really cool. Well, thank you. Thank you, Louis. That's really much appreciated, especially coming from you, because you're kind of a pro at this stuff. So what else do we have? Yeah, so with the other guitars that I don't have anything else that I'm selling now. So, and people ask me about basses, because I'm being a bass player originally, what basses I like, and I've always been an Ernie Ball guy for the longest time, and that's the only thing that I like as far as when it comes to basses. That's what I own, and that's what I like, so I stick with those ones. Let's see what else we've got. I'm just looking at the chat here. I could only see the guitar, didn't even hear it. You should have heard it. But anyway. So yeah, the R6 came out, it was a good deal, and I was really happy to be able to acquire it. I guess it was a 50th birthday present, right? I said that was going to be the R9. I bought the R9 back in April, and that was kind of a 50th birthday thing for me as well. But I had my mind set on this R6, and when I went to NAMM, I was trying out. I tried the R6s, and I tried Eastman guitars. Eastman makes a really nice guitar, and they had a gold top with P90s. I tried that. Not that it wasn't good, but I still preferred that R6. So that stuck in my head, and I just kept looking and looking and trying to find it, and there it is. Let's see, everybody saying hi to everybody. That's good. That's good. So the other thing so we've talked about the branding. So again, my name on Instagram and my name on Facebook have changed. Instead of using Brian Cote, I'm using Six String Brian. So go ahead and follow me at those places if you'd like, to follow me on those social media platforms. I do plan to do a little bit more with Facebook. I haven't done a lot as far as live stuff, but I think I'm going to try to experiment a little bit with Facebook Live. I don't know how I can, I'd like to use it a little differently than I do with YouTube, but I'd still like to do something with it because I do have a fairly good audience on Facebook, because YouTube has been fairly new when it comes, for me anyway, when it comes to music and guitar stuff. I've only been at the game for about a year, well, probably about a year now as far as the YouTube things. So we're still growing, and we're still trying to get things sorted out and figure out what kind of shows we want to put together and reviews and so forth. I don't do a lot of reviews, but it's something that, if the opportunity presents itself and I have a product that I want to share with you, like I do with the Helix, it's nice to take that and show you some stuff that I'm doing with that. And I know a lot of people are interested in it. So gives me an opportunity to talk to you folks about how I use it and the things that I like about it, and if it gives you some ideas and you want to try it. That's the other thing I got when I was on vacation. I bought a Helix Stomp. I have the Helix LT, the floor unit, but when I was on vacation, I went and picked up the Stomp, because when I'm traveling or something, it's nice to have that little, just a small size little setup that I can play guitar with. And I played with it for that week, and the thing is amazing. So I'd say to anybody that's looking to get into the Helix world or the modeling world, and you don't want to, necessarily get the full Helix or whatever, look at the Stomp. I think it's well worth it. It does everything that the Helix does, except you can only put 6 blocks, and blocks meaning like you can put an amp and a cab or a couple of pedals or whatever. You can put 6 of those things. But I was able to get some awesome sounds with that thing, and I was using maybe 4 blocks. So definitely that's a cool little unit. Now, I don't know if I'll be keeping mine just because I use my Helix LT all the time. I would only be using the Stomp when I'm traveling and so forth, and I'm not planning to do a lot of traveling in the next couple of months, probably not till Christmas. So I don't know. I might, because I've got 30 days to use, like to have it before I can return it or whatever at the music store. So I'm still trying to debate whether or not I'll keep it or not, because if it's just sitting here, that's the other thing with me. I don't have a lot of gear that is just sitting. It's all stuff that I'm using on a regular basis. If I don't, then it's usually going to find its way out to finance something else, obviously. Quentin says, "What's this Helix you speak of?" Yeah, you know exactly what the Helix is, brother. You got one. I hope you're using it now, and that you're back in your apartment. James says he's got the HX effects. Yeah, that's an awesome unit as well, especially if you want to replace a bunch of pedals and you just want to use the HX effects. And the effects in the Helix are really, really cool. I think they're really cool. So good for you. Let's see. Scott says, "I'd be glad to store it for you." Yeah, you're talking about this Stomp, right? Gussie, how's it going, Gussie Wells? Beautiful gold top. Thank you, Gussie. I'm really happy with it. As far as guitars goes, I think I'm set. For me, that's where I need to be as far as comfortable and having all the tools that I need in the studio, because I use this stuff to record. It's not just, and I don't really play live. Not that I wouldn't, or that I might not do that in the future, but right now it's mostly just studio stuff and recording and writing original music and having the tools that I have as far as the Strat, the Tele, and the Les Pauls kind of cover the ground as far as guitar tones. So I think I'm okay with that. But again, someday I want to get the Les Paul Custom to kind of round out those 3 iconic Les Pauls that I've always had in my mind growing up. And, that was always the holy trinity, let's put it that way. So someday, but I'm always looking, and if I can move something to make room for something else, then I'm always good to do that. So let me have a look here and see what we've got. Okay, I've got media 1 there. If you've got any other questions, we've got 5 minutes. We're going to call it a night after at 8 o'clock. I know Ben's going on at 8, so definitely jump into his stream. We've this week I'm planning to probably go live again, maybe Friday or Thursday afternoon. I usually do one of those days in the afternoon if I have if I have a chance to do it. And then on those ones, I kind of go more in depth in whether it's something like the Helix or just talking about some other guitar related gear or whatever. So I kind of go more in depth on 1 or 2 things instead of this show is more of a general show that we kind of cover some stuff, whether it's new gear, whether it's just some weekly news or some updates, or we just chat, between us here in the chat room and answer questions and so forth. So that's what Monday Night Ramble is really all about. So I try to keep it to that. And my Thursday or Friday afternoon thing and those aren't planned. They're just, if I have time or whatever, then that's what I tend to do. And then we can focus more on something more specific on those days. Those are more free form and they're more like, whatever happens type of thing. And I'm actually, the last couple that I've done that way have turned out really well. I don't know why. I feel more at ease doing those than the Monday Night Ramble. Monday Night Ramble is more of a structured show. There's more going on and stuff. So I always feel a little bit of trepidation when I'm doing the Monday night shows, but we always get through it and, it's all fun. Dave R's Guitar says, now you just need a Norlin era custom. Yeah, Dave, I agree. I agree. So maybe someday if I find the right one and the deal is good and time is right, you never know. Let's see. Let me know. Okay, so Jasco says, let me know when you're on in the afternoon. I'll schedule another meeting. Yeah, some of you folks are working in the afternoons. Like on Thursday, I work from home, so I can kind of, because I finish at 3, my work day, so I kind of go on after 3. And Fridays, I'm off in the summer, so I'm able to do that. But I've noticed some of you guys jumping into my live streams in the afternoon, and when you're at work and you're saying to your boss or whatever, you're in a meeting, close your door and participate in the live show. So that's awesome. Yeah, if you can do that. But usually what happens, I hope YouTube is fixed now, but they usually send out notifications as soon as I go live. If you run the bell, just make sure you ring the bell on my when you subscribe to my channel, and when I go live, you should be able to get that notification. So if everything's working properly, sometimes with YouTube, it doesn't always work out that way, but let's see. So anyway, I want to thank everybody for jumping in here tonight. I was really nice to have we have a large group. I don't know how many people are in here. I can't see the total for some reason. It doesn't seem to update on my browser here how many people are in the chat, but we've got a fair amount of people in here, and it was great to see everybody and participate in the live chat. I hope you guys had a good time. It was our first live show back since vacation time, which I was away for 2 weeks, so it's going to take a few weeks to get back into the regular schedule mode and the work mode and all that fun stuff after being on vacation. When you kind of go out of your routine a little bit, it takes a few days to get back into the things. 35 watching, awesome. I'm really happy with that. Thank you, Phil and Gary, for letting me know that. And Guitar Hack says, yeah, he's having a Thursday night show, so at 8 p.m. at the regular time. Brian, you need a Martin D. Yeah, that's the other thing I need. I need an acoustic at some point. I'm looking at the new Gibsons. They're fairly... I played both of them when I was at NAMM, the new ones, and they're priced, very reasonably for what they are, and they play amazingly. So maybe, I don't know, we'll see down the road. That is something that I'd like to have in the studio, because some of the songs that I write would be probably good to have an acoustic in line, but right now I needed to get the electrics in line and get all that stuff sorted out before I start looking at acoustic stuff. But all right, so with that said, I want to wish you a great week. It's 8 o'clock. Thank you again for jumping in. If you're subscribed to my channel, thank you very much. If you're not, go ahead and do that. If you enjoyed the night, if you enjoyed this content, check out the channel. There's a bunch of other content on there. Also, make sure you go to my new Facebook page, which is dedicated to guitar and music stuff, Six String Brian. There's not much up there right now because I just created the page yesterday, so I'll be starting to populate that with more content in the next couple of weeks, so look for that. And yeah, thank you all for your support, and I think with that, we're going to call it an evening. So have a good night, and I will catch you on the flip side. Take care, folks.